All right, we are here at the Woodruff Art Center for Built Tech Week. And to my left, your right, is Matt Knight. And I didn't even mean to make that rhyme. Managing Director of Shadow Ventures. Thank you so much for being here.
Of course, happy to do it.
Now, Shadow Ventures puts on Built Tech Week. And what can people expect from the second annual Built Tech Week?
More of our nerdy friends getting together, talking about nerdy tech things.
Woo!
Just AEC, which is architecture, engineering, construction technology, and then commercial real estate tech. A lot of high tech discussions going on. Iterative design and things that I would not even know what they meant a couple years ago.
But I love it. I mean, the gentleman who was just in that seat, was the senior project manager, for Stanford.
It's like $1 billion project.
Right?
It's not a little project.
It's not nothing.
Yeah.
And keeping patients and medical workers safe in the event of an earthquake, that is next level, and it's fascinating.
Well, at Stanford, they're not going to just build a box with X-rays in it. There's going to be robots doing things.
Precision.
It's going to be fascinating. Yeah.
Precise precision.
Correct.
What are you most looking forward to in the schedule of events today?
The future of retail panels always fascinating because retail is becoming so much about supply chain logistics and marketing. It's not as much about brick and mortar anymore, which is always fascinating. We have a couple great panelists. And then there's some guys from Australia coming in to talk about architecture I think they do all of Google's architecture. So just interesting hearing about that level of client and what they demand. I like our panel. I think our VC panel on what's happening in investing in early stage is fascinating. So it's going to be interesting to hear what the guys on my panel say.
I love the boilerplate statement for Shadow Ventures. It's a closed ecosystem of entrepreneurs, investors, designers, and developers. That's a room I want to be in.
I hope so. That's the idea, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's so many interesting people, right? We're just so lucky with KP's network and with some of the people I've run across to have just wildly aggressive thinkers on different ways to build buildings and design and manage and operate them. And so it's the kind of people that ask, why can't we just have a robot do this? Why can't we have a drone do this? I mean, there's things that you start having a lot of existing technology and start applying it to a very antiquated business, and you start saying, yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. Why wouldn't you have a robot do drywall? Because he can do it faster and cheaper and more precise. And why wouldn't you have it's pretty interesting conversations we get to have.
Smarter, faster, better, stronger. It's like the mantra that is keeping just echoing through everybody's brains all the time.
Well, and in my world, it's about if it flows down to the bottom line, right? If you can do it for cheaper, right? Especially if you're in a warm market like now, where you would argue there's so much money, it's so frothy in the economy now. How do you squeeze an extra 0.5% out? If that's using AI for something, if it's robotics, you're $1 billion company, and you can save 0.5%. There's millions of dollars back in shareholders' pockets. So it's at some point it becomes part of the strategy going forward anyway. And that's the exciting thing is you start seeing these big companies saying, if we want young people and if we want our board happy and if we want our shareholders happy, we have to have a tech strategy. And 10 years ago, I don't think that was the case. You could just do what you've been doing, stick to your knitting, stick to your core competency. But now, if you don't have a tech strategy, you start looking a little antiquated.
100%. I love the adjective you used, frothy. It's a good one.
It's pretty frothy.
I'm gonna weave that into my vocab this week.
Go for it.
Matt, the website, if you want to connect with Shadow Ventures, is shadow.vc. If people want to connect with you, do you prefer LinkedIn, Twitter, email?
Email's fine.
Email.
mknight@shadow.vc.
mknight@shadow.vc.
We respond pretty quickly. We like meeting new people.
And that is knight, like a knight in shining armor, not like this guy.
Yeah, correct. K-N-I-G-H-T.
Cool, awesome. Anything you want to leave us with before we wrap, just in terms of the impact that this is having, not only in the Atlanta ecosystem, but globally? I mean, you have people flying in from Australia.
In Canada and Europe, I mean, I think that's our hope, right? Is that it's not like we're the only city with buildings. Like this is a global concept. I mean, it's a $40 trillion global market. So that's what we're looking for, is something that scales globally. And so I hope it's impactful beyond just our little hometown.
I hope so too. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here. Thanks to you and KP for this amazing week. And we are so excited to be a part of it.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for coming.